Well, hello there, grade 3s. Here I am back again, in your house, about to give you an English lesson, a language lesson. So let's not waste any time and get on with it as soon as possible so that you can get on with some other stuff for the rest of the day. Hello there, grade 3. Good to see you again. This time your lesson is an English one, language actually. So let's get to it, and then you can get on with other stuff during the day that keeps you busy. We're going to be looking at prefixes today, and I really want you to have a look and see what you think the PRE or pre in prefix means. Because before we get on to prefixes, I'm going to do a little warm-up exercise to do with alphabetical order. That looks like our class, don't you think, guys? That looks like a happy bunch of grade 3s, all united together as we learn online. Right, with no further ado, let's look at alphabetical order. I'm going to put up 3 lists of words. And we're going to look at each list separately. The first list has got the words grape, orange, pear, kiwi, and berry. And if we put things into alphabetical order, you know that we have to start with words that are at the beginning of the alphabet and move them on until we get to the end of the alphabet. So what word do you think is the first letter in this alphabetical order? Well, I think it's berry, for sure. So berry, and then next, well, it can't be orange or pear or kiwi, but grape is the next one. So grape comes next. After that comes kiwi, as in K, and lastly orange and pear. The next list, which is tomato, mushroom, banana, lettuce and carrot. Let's see, what do you think is the first one? Is there a word starting in A? No. Is there a word starting in B? Yes, so it's banana comes first. The next letter is carrot, C. And then lettuce, L. And then comes mushroom. And tomato is last in the line. Our last list is my favorite list because it's got a whole recipe for pudding. So on my plate, alphabetically, what is the first thing I'm going to put on my pudding plate? You guessed it, biscuit. Yum. And then, ooh, chocolate. Ooh, caramel. Okay, well, let's see. Caramel, loads of it, and chocolate, yummy. Interestingly enough, grade 3s, do you notice there are 2 words that start with C? How do we know which one must come first? Well, we always then look at the second letter. So caramel is before chocolate because the second letter is A in caramel and the second letter in chocolate is H. So what's going next? Biscuit, caramel, chocolate, and then loads of ice cream. And to top it all, last in the alphabet line, nuts. How fabulous. I can't wait to make that pudding tonight. And now, let's learn a bit more about prefixes. Well, I had a lot of fun while I've been at home, and I wrote a little simple poem, a little rhyming poem, to help us understand a little bit about what a prefix actually is. So I'm going to read it to you, and let's see what it says. I'm a little word, but I say a lot. I like to push in front, and I change the plot. If you don't like beans, then the word's dislike. If it's 12 p.m., we call it midnight. If the food is raw, then we say it's uncooked. If I'm left off the team, then I'm overlooked. Pre means before and fix means attach. Now I'm sure my meaning is easy to catch. Does that make a little bit of sense to you? Okay, I'm going to read it again and let's see if it makes more sense now. A prefix, what is it? I'm a little word, but I say a lot. I like to push in front and I change the plot. If you don't like beans, then the word's dislike. If it's 12 p.m., we call it midnight. If the food is raw, then we say it's uncooked. If I'm left off the team, then I'm overlooked. Pre means before and fix means attached. Now I'm sure my meaning is easy to catch. Pre, fix. Can you list the prefixes in the poem for me? Need a clue? They are in red. So here they are. Dis, mid, un, and over. The definition of a prefix is as follows. A prefix is a letter or a group of letters added to the beginning of a word, girls and boys, the beginning of a word, to make a new word, and thus it changes its meaning. Now let's look at some more prefixes, like un. Un means not. Like if you feel wanted, that's great. But if you don't feel wanted, you feel unwanted. Miss means wrongly, so you do something wrongly, like misspelling a word. If your word was misspelt, you didn't spell it correctly. Dis means opposite of, like disown. And re means again, like the word redo. If I try something for the first time, I often don't get it right, so I have to redo it. Now let's match the words in the box with the prefix in the table. In the table I've got columns. In the first column I've got un, which means not, miss, which means wrongly, dis, which means opposite of, and regain, which means do again. Here's my list of words in the box. Let's see if we can put them in the right column. Unhappy, ungrateful, and untidy. So the word un changes the meaning of happy. It means I'm not happy. It changes the meaning of grateful, means I'm not grateful. And it changes the meaning of tidy, meaning I'm not tidy. Misplace, misunderstand, and mistreat. Misplace means I have misplaced something. I haven't put it in the right place, so now I've lost it. Misunderstand means I didn't understand what you were saying, so I thought you were saying something different. Mistreat means you mistreat somebody. You don't treat them kindly or nicely, probably unkindly. Disobedient, dishonest, and disagree. Disobedient means you don't listen. You're not obedient. Dishonest means you might lie, which means you're dishonest. And disagree is not a bad thing at all. It just means you have a different opinion. And lastly, rearrange, rebuild, and retry. If I arrange flowers in a vase beautifully and my cat knocks them over, I will have to rearrange them. If I build a puzzle and I drop it on the floor, I will have to rebuild the puzzle. And if I try something for the first time, don't get it right, I really need to try it again, so I'll retry it. Does that make sense, grade 3? I'm sure it does. Right, so here's the little poem again. And I'm going to upload this where the worksheets are so that you can print them out. Let's read it again all together. I'm a little word, but I say a lot. I like to push in front, and I change the plot. If you don't like beans, then the word's dislike. If it's 12 p.m., we call it midnight. If the food is raw, we say it's uncooked. If I'm left with the team, then I'm overlooked. Pre means before, and fix means attach. Now I'm sure my meaning is easy to catch. I wonder, for those of you who have time, which I know you do, and those of you who enjoy drama, perhaps you could learn this little poem off by heart, put actions to it, even dress up if you like, and present it to your teacher and your classmates when you get back to school. So you could actually teach them this poem, which will teach them all about prefixes. I'll save this poem to the worksheet section, which you can download and print after the lesson. Thank you everybody for being with me. It's been such fun. I've so enjoyed it. It's made my day to spend time with you grade 3s. I need to just remind you that if you would like to email me about anything to do with this lesson, please then go on to the grade 3 email that you will find on WorksheetCloud.com, and you can send me an email about anything to do that you don't understand, and I will reply to you as soon as I can. And also remember that there is a worksheet about prefixes, and there is the poem that is also uploaded, plus there is an answer sheet that you can mark your work with and get immediate feedback. So grade 3s, until tomorrow, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Look after each other, help your parents, help around the house, treat each other kindly, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Goodbye.